people have defended and explained and championed bass education. They have felt that the methods and the principles all work because everybody's different. People all have different goals. People have all different outcomes that they're seeking. And I believe people have pretty much the exact same goal and seek the same outcome. I'll explain it now. Welcome to another episode of And Nothing But the Truth. People state that they have different goals than someone else. Essentially, I think that's not true. What's your goal? Your goal is to play the music you hear in your head or to play the music you heard elsewhere. That's it. There isn't even a third option, I don't believe. How do you acquire these things? You acquire them by being self-taught, which is being in charge of how you go about learning to represent the music in your head or the music that you hear. Or you go to a teacher who will teach you academic music that gives you the facts of music, just like you were taught the facts of reading and writing, which later liberates us to be artistic. Now, in a nutshell, that's everybody. I almost can't think of an example to the contrary that why someone would pick up an instrument if they didn't want to play what they heard somewhere in their existence, in their lives. Okay. Poster shared. All classical teachers teach both the academic and the artistic elements related to each classical instrument, which are based in written music. I agree with them. So I put this point here in order to share the philosophy of classical teaching is specific, perfect, and without flaw. No flaw at all. Isn't that imagine? I'll do that like a kind of a Jewish comedian. No flaw at all. So, bass education. What does bass education include? And I'm reading a list, and I compiled this list quickly. Please be patient. It's 27 points of thought. Bass education somewhere in the world includes tabs, two-handed tapping, slap, groove, string crossings without harmony, written warm-up exercises, left-hand, right-hand technique, learning the fretboard, hazard exercises, which are finger motion exercises, finger busters exercises, wearing blindfolds, there are no wrong notes, teaching adults principles that don't apply to adults but apply to children, teachers stating that they don't like to practice because children don't like to practice, teachers stating it takes too long to learn academic music, metronomes on the up and down beats, you know about those, learning from drum books, moving rhythms left and right of the one without melodic inclusion in the exercise, teaching four-finger plucking, muting the strings, plucking in certain ways, teaching rock, jocko classes, metal classes, teaching bass players to communicating in a way that will help you to get a gig or to open up that, opportunity. I'll stop. That's number 24. You've all been raised in families. You've all had upbringings with, for the most part, of course, loving, caring family members. You all went to church or synagogue or mosque, or you were all raised, or many were raised in a religion. People were taught the morals of the world in their schools. The concept that a college or any place would presume to teach you to communicate and tell you that this would help you to get work or a gig is, to me, absurd. All right, I have three more. Teaching healthy diet suggestions while touring. Being positive, meaning instead of being, let's say, realistic to the positive and negative that goes on around us, just be positive and look at the impact that that has happened. That people are positive, attempt to be positive, attempt to be humble, attempt to be minimize ego, but haven't noticed that some of the great fired up musicians, and I'm thinking off the top of my head, Beethoven and John Lennon and Miles Davis and the litany of anything but, let's say, modest or humble personalities, look at how their energy and fervor is what guided them to their musical heights. To restrict your emotions by being told it might be egotistical and not saying to somebody, man, I played great today, I'm very proud. It's just a testimony to the squelching of the reality that that human emotion is broad. Not teaching the bass, human emotion, and we should regard it. And then the last one is Q&A with name players. So I definitely have a bone to pick with, I would say, the industry that, due to my unapologetic and unhidden views, I'll never be invited to a school, I'll never be invited to an event, I'll never be invited to anything where other principles and other examples are taught, because I think that they're all a sham. And I think that people can pursue most, if not all, of these things on their own. And the reason I think that is because two things. One, bass players, for the most part, you go back in history, look at them. They're all self-taught in their styles. And the second thing, it sort of refers to the things that I believe that bass teachers made up principles to teach because music wasn't enough. Or they didn't believe that teaching you music was enough. And look at the harm it's caused this generation, that they don't recognize even the purpose, not the need for the need of it, but the purpose of why reading music and what the liberty would have given them. And it's all due to the people that I've pointed out. I won't name names, I've done away with that, and others that have followed suit, and universities and colleges and schools and all of this. And where I'm just one guy in front of a camera and I'll get, a couple of hundred guys that'll tell me to, that this makes sense, or to go, blank myself. Because you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him practice. I like that. That's one of mine. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him understand that music is the way to be taught, should one seek teaching. Okay, thank you very much. Please hit the like button, the subscribe button, the alert button. Offer your thoughts below, and thanks for watching.